I'm a liberal because I believe that each and every human being is precious, that every person on earth should enjoy certain rights and freedoms, the right to life, liberty, and property. For me, being a liberal means believing in universal human rights and taking a stand for human rights all over the world. No man is an island. Human rights can never be dismissed as so-called internal affairs in any country. And this is this is why the international community has an obligation to protect these rights whenever and wherever necessary. I'm a liberal because I believe in freedom of expression. Once again, the French have a way of putting it. So, like Voltaire, I say, I disapprove of what you say, but I will defend to the death your right to say it. Because I believe free speech to be the most precious civic right we have. For me, free speech is a safeguard for all other freedoms. Without the freedom to discuss all matters, there can be no true democracy. The freedom to speak against those in power is our bulwark against tyranny. The freedom to pose critical questions about established truth and dogmas is the only way to ensure progress, renewal, and development. And I'm a liberal because I believe in another freedom also, the freedom of religion. That is why we fight for the right of each individual to practice his or her religion freely all over the world, and why we combat any persecution of or discrimination against people based on religious belief. But freedom cuts both ways. If we wish to practice our religion freely, we must permit free and critical religious debate. You cannot abolish or limit freedom of expression by claiming that something is holy and therefore exempt from discussion. This is why we must oppose any attempt to restrict free speech in the name of religion. As you probably all know, in March this year, Muslim countries tabled a resolution in the UN Human Rights Council aiming at limiting free speech in order to protect religion. Regrettably, this resolution was adopted by a majority. So now is the time to stand up for our basic liberal principles. Through the United Nations, we must combat any resolution that attempts to limit freedom of expression. We must make it crystal clear that free speech includes the right to critical debate about religion, any religion. We must fight determinedly to secure freedom of religion for all, and impress on all countries that they must guarantee and respect the rights of religious minorities. And through our organization, the European Union, we must reinforce our cooperation on human rights in order to strengthen our common action on the international stage. And we must not hesitate to stand together in the protection of courageous fighters for free speech, like our Dutch liberal colleague, Ayaan Hirsi Ali. She stands as one of the most shining bearers of that very spirit of liberty which first emerged in Europe in our age of enlightenment. and Hirsiali is a symbol of the free speech we all claim to defend. And any free society and democracy has an obligation to guarantee her right to speak out freely and to ensure her personal safety. My fellow liberals, liberalism is anti-authoritarian, but it is not just another run-of-the-mill ism. Liberalism is a view of human nature, a conviction that freedom and equal opportunities for each individual will set free on grant of resources, opportunities, progress, and innovation. The liberal vision is of a Europe built on deep respect for the individual, free mobility across European borders for people, goods, and capital, and strong European cooperation based on the principles of national diversity, the rule of law, and the balance of powers. The raison d'être of the European Union.